2.4 Surveys and Cardinal Numbers. The techniques of set theory can be applied to many different groups of people or objects, and the problems addressed sometimes require analyzing known information about certain subsets to obtain cardinal numbers of other subsets. In this section, we're going to apply 3 problem-solving strategies we have learned so far to solve such problems. We're going to use Venn diagrams, cardinal number formulas, and tables. Now, the known information is quite often obtained by conducting a survey, and we're going to use the first example of a group of attendees at an educational seminar. So from these group of attendees, all of whom desire to become registered nurses are asked their preferences among 3 traditional ways to become an RN. And the following information is produced. So we see that 23 would consider pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. 16 would consider pursuing the associate degree in nursing. 7 would consider a diploma program. 10 would consider both BSN and the associate degree in nursing. 5 would consider both the BSN and the diploma. 3 would consider both the ADN and the diploma. 2 would consider all 3 options. And 4 are looking for an option other than these 3. So, what are some things we want to determine in this? We want to determine... So some of the questions that we want answered are total number of people surveyed, and you want to see where we would place these in the Venn diagram. For our first question, we can't just add up all 8 of these numbers because some of them overlap with each other. And if we were to add them all up together, it would give us a number that would not be accurate of the total number being surveyed. So to get the total number of people surveyed, we can't just add up all 8, because if we were to add up all 8, some of them overlap with each other and it would give us a number that is not accurate with the true number of people that were surveyed. So the process of figuring it out would be first to create a Venn diagram. And we have 3 different types of degrees. We have the BSN, the ADN, and the diploma. So we're going to make 3 sets. And so we have our universal set. And from the universal set, we already know that there are 4 people that are looking for an option other than these 3. So we know that we're going to have 4 in the universal set already because it's not going to be in any of these 3 sets. And we could further go ahead and label these sets by denoting them with different colors. So for BSN, we can use purple. So BSN. And then for ADN, I'm going to use green. And then for diploma, I'm going to use orange. And so we can first start by labeling the regions in this Venn diagram. So we can label it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And now we know that to get region D, we need to look at, so because at the start we don't know how to distribute the 23 who like BSN, we look first for some sort of data that's more manageable. And the smallest total listed we have is 2. Who like all 3 options. So D is going to be equal to 2. And then we already know the 4 that must that don't like either 3 option must go in A. So A is going to be equal to 4. Next, because we already have figured out this region and this region, you must now look at the next possible region that we can figure out from what we know already. And what we know is that there are 10 people that like both BSN and ADN. And it's going to be marked by region C. Now, we've already put in some data in this entire region, which is overlapped by D. So for region C, we can calculate it as 10 from here minus the 2 that are all interested in the 3 options. So we know that C is going to be 8. Now that we have C, we could look at region E. Now, the total number of people that are interested in both a BSN and a diploma are 5. And we already know that in region D, we have 2 people interested in all 3 options. So we have 5 minus the 2 interested in all 3 options, which is left with 3 for E. So E is equal to 3. Next up, we want to figure out region B. So we know there are 23 people that are interested in a BSN. And then we subtract all the other data that overlaps with it from our set. So we have 23 minus region C, which is 8, minus region E, which is 3, and minus region D, which is 2, which leaves us with 10 people in region B. Next, we want to check out region H. So we know that before we go on to region H, let's figure out some other data so we can figure out region H. So we know that people interested in an ADN and a diploma is 3. Now, we know that there are 2 people interested in all 3 options from region D. So we know that it would be 3 minus 2 interested in all 3 options, which left us with 1. 1 for G. Next, we have H. So we know there are 16 total people interested in H, in ADN. So it'd be 16 minus region C, which is 8, minus region D, which is 2, minus region G, which is 1. And so we are left with 5 for region H. And then finally, we have region F. So we have 7 people interested in a diploma. So it would be 7 minus E, D, and G, which is going to be 3 minus 2 minus 1. It's going to be 1 person interested in the diploma. And from here, we have figured out all 3 regions and the number of people interested in all of them. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Now we can analyze the survey even more. So when we're asked how many people like the BSN option only, we know that only 10 do. How many people like exactly 2 of these 3 options? We see that there's 1 person interested in both a diploma and an ADN. There's 3 people interested in both a diploma and a BSN, and there's 8 people interested in both a BSN and an ADN, which leaves us with 12. And now we're left with how many people were surveyed in total. And what we could do is just add up all these numbers from these different regions. So we have 10 plus 8 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4, which leaves us with 34, right? Because 10 plus 13 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 is going to leave us with 23, plus 7 plus 4 is going to be 34. Moving on to the cardinal number formula. If we're given information of the cardinality of some sets, then we can... Now we're going to be moving on to cardinal number formula. For any 2 sets, A and B, the following is true. Cardinality of N union B is equal to the cardinality of A plus cardinality of B minus the cardinality of A intersection B, because you don't want to count the middle twice. And so we can use this formula for an example. If we want to find the cardinality of A, if cardinality of A union B is equal to 22, cardinality of A intersection B is 8, and the cardinality of B is 12. Well, from our formula, we know that if the cardinality of A union B is 22, and we add the cardinality of A plus the cardinality of B minus the intersection between A and B, the cardinality of that, can be left with 22 is equal to the cardinality of A plus 4. And then solving for A, we get 18.